Think, what on earth did that actually mean? Well, what if you could find out? What if you could literally plug your brain into a system that didn't just record your dream, but actually decoded its deepest secrets? Today, we're going to deconstruct this really fascinating, kind of futuristic service that claims it can do exactly that. And this is its promise right here. Welcome to Dreamland. This isn't about those old dream dictionaries you find online. Nope. The claim here is way bigger. It's about using some seriously advanced tech and your own biology to translate the language of your subconscious. It's a pretty wild idea, so let's break down exactly how this whole thing supposedly works. So, where do you even start? Well, it all begins with you. To unlock whatever's hidden in your mind, the system needs two incredibly personal pieces of information from you first. These two things are basically the foundation, the blueprint for the entire interpretation. And here they are. First up, you have to provide your entire DNA sequence. Yeah, the whole thing. The system says it needs this for personalized neural mapping. And second, you have to write down a super rich, detailed description of the dream you had. Think of these as the two main ingredients, your fundamental genetic code and the specific story from your subconscious you want to figure out. Okay, so you've handed over your data. Now we get to the hardware. The next part involves a physical device, an interface that's designed to literally bridge the gap between your brain and their interpretation engine. It's called the Anionic Wearable, and at its most basic level, you can think of it as a super sophisticated brain-computer interface. Its job is to monitor all the electrical activity buzzing around in your brain. Tracking those main brain waves, alpha, beta, theta, and delta, that tell us if you're awake, relaxed, or in a deep sleep. But here's where it gets really crazy. The claim is that this wearable goes way beyond just tracking basic brainwaves. It supposedly monitors 7 different forms of neural communication. It's basically creating this multi-layered scan of how your brain is actually building the dream experience from the ground up. And you can see the scope of it here. The scan isn't just looking at what you saw through your visual cortex or what you heard with audio processing. It claims to be tracking signals from your emotion centers, digging into your memory banks, even monitoring your language and motor functions while you dream. And get this, it even claims to track something called an intuition matrix. The whole goal is to just grab a massive amount of data from every single part of your mind involved in that dream. Alright, so the personal data is in, the brain activity has been captured. All of that information gets fed into the very core of this Dreamland service. This is the black box, where all the real magic is supposed to happen. And this is the heart of the whole operation, something they call a Java neural codec. Now, you know how a codec on your computer compresses and decompresses data, like for a movie you're strolling? Well, the idea here is that this massive algorithm takes all that information, your genes, your dream story, and those 7 channels of brain data, and starts looking for connections between all of it. So, what pops out the other side isn't just a simple paragraph telling you what your dream meant. No, the first thing this codec generates is a brain dream map. It's this personalized, data-heavy visualization that directly links the activity in your brain to the stuff that happened in your dream. This map is all about connecting specific brain regions to what you experienced. So for instance, it might show a massive spike in your occipital lobe, your visual center, at the exact moment you dreamed of a big red car. But then, at that same time, it shows another spike in your limbic system, your emotion center, linking that red car to, say, a feeling of fear. It's about building a direct biological bridge between what your brain was doing and what your dream was showing you. So the system has done all the heavy lifting. The analysis is done. Your personal brain dream map is ready to go. But, of course, there's one last step before you get to see everything. And, you probably guessed it, it's gonna cost you. And there it is. The price for this deep, deep dive into your own head is 1 Bitcoin 8. A single unit of this unique, kind of futuristic digital currency is the only thing standing between you and the full interpretation of your dream. So for that 1 Bitcoin or 8, what do you get? You don't just get the cool-looking map. You unlock the whole shebang, a detailed written interpretation of what it all means, and maybe the most interesting part, the full DNA dream correlation analysis. That's the report that claims to explain how your actual genetic makeup might be influencing the stories that play out in your head every night. It's such a powerful, almost unsettling idea, isn't it? Having your own DNA and brainwaves used to tell you definitively what your dreams are about. It really just leaves you with one final question to think about. If this service was actually real and you could finally get a concrete answer, what would be the very first dream you'd want
want to understand.
Real invoice from the document, sent right to SpaceX. It's an offer to push his supposed